Hey, it's me, Vicky Marie. Got an hour between classes and I want to have a little rant. So, this rant is about the NHS. So, let's chat. Now, what's brought this rant on is the injustice that I'm feeling for one of my students. Now, this student lives in the UK, in London, and they have a problem with their back that they've had for a long, long time. And they had an operation on their back many years ago, and they had, I mean, I don't understand the medical ins and outs, but it's like a, a they had like a chip inserted in their back that releases, I suppose it's like vibrations or whatever. I don't think it's drugs, that control the pain that they have in their back because of whatever the issue is that they have with their backbone, the bottom of their spine. Unfortunately, a couple of years, and they had this fitted many years ago, and it worked really well, and it really helped to control the pain. A couple of years ago, they fell. They had a fall, and this, I don't even know what you'd call it. Sorry for my ignorance at the actual technical words. But this thing, this monitor, if you like, this pain monitor that they had inserted in their back, broke, dislodged, and it hasn't worked ever since. So this is maybe 2 or even maybe 3 years ago that they had this fall, and they've been waiting ever since to have it repaired. Now, they've been referred from one place to another. It's a very, very difficult operation. Only a specialist can do it. And apparently, the specialists in this sort of surgery in the UK are in the north, somewhere up near Liverpool. So they've been waiting, waiting, waiting. They've been for appointments, they've had Zoom calls, of you name it, they've had it. And then finally, a couple of weeks ago, we had a class, and they were my student was absolutely overjoyed because finally they'd been told that probably before December they would finally get this operation. Now, my student has been very patient. I just feel for her so much because she said, "Oh, there are people in a worse position than me," but she's got to a point where she's in a wheelchair, even though she's not that old. But I mean, she can walk a little bit. It's not that she can't walk at all. But for example, if she goes to an airport, she has to have assisted passage. She cannot walk all that distance. She can walk short distances, but anywhere that she goes, she has to, where that involves a long distance of walking or standing. She cannot stand practically at all. Walking is easier than standing, but only short periods. So she finally got this really good news and was excitedly telling me about it. Anyway, at some point then last week, she phoned up to try and get a bit more of an exact date because she has to make arrangements. Obviously, she has to get up to Liverpool. Afterwards, she has to make sure she's got someone looking after her. She has got a husband, but he's working. So she has to make arrangements to, you know, so she was just trying, if she could, to get a more exact date. And you know what they said to her? They said that the operation had been cancelled, and that in fact for for October and November, or November and December, I don't know, 2 months anyway, the department was closed because they did not have enough staff to operate this department. So all that excitement that she'd felt, she doesn't know. She's back to don't know when this is going to happen again. Now, a back operation is not life or death. That is, I suppose, the theory behind it. I would presume if she needed a life or death, life-saving operation, something would be done. This, of course, it's not life or death, but in a way it is, because this woman is in so much pain. I know for a fact that there are times when she almost wishes she was not on this planet because she doesn't know how long she can stand it for, because she takes so many tablets for the pain, and then a lot of them now have just don't work anymore because, you know, the pain's got too much and the body's got so used to the tablet. So it's a horrible, horrible situation. So I'm just so angry because this woman and her husband paid into the health service all their lives. They've worked since they were 16 years old. And now she cannot get this operation. She has to live in misery a little bit longer. So then, you know, you start to think, well, why have they got no staff? You know, aren't people looking for work? You know, why? And of course, because we've got no nurses. We haven't got enough nurses. We haven't got enough doctors, and there's various reasons for that. So part of the reason, you know, people might not want to admit it, but part of the reason is Brexit, because a lot of the Eastern Europeans went to different countries because their visas are too problematic. I just, you know, I know I'm always saying, oh, I've got a student, but, you know, I meet people from all walks of lives, from all nationalities. Over the years that I've been teaching Spanish, I've met so many different kinds of people. And Eastern Europeans coming here to Spain to learn Spanish because they cannot. One lady had lived in Britain for 20 years. She's from Romania. And in the end, her and her husband, she was a paramedic and then a care worker. Both her and her husband working on ambulances. Problems with their visa. Suddenly experiencing racism as well, which she'd never really experienced before. People you know what it was like, the fever pitch of Brexit. People telling her to get back to her own country. It's just flabbergasting for me. But anyway, so that's part of the reason. It's not the whole reason, but that's part of the reason. And I've seen these people come through my doors to learn Spanish, Polish people, I say Romanian, all different Eastern European nationalities, Ukrainian, that just can't get on there now in Britain. It's harder because their visas are so difficult to get. And, you know, this, of course, that's why it's like that now for people who want to come and live in Spain. It's a lot harder than it used to be because it's tit for tat, reciprocal agreements. Free movement works both ways. Anyway, never mind. I'm not going to get into a Brexit argument. But that's one reason. What's the other reason? Doctors, what people are doing, they're training to be doctors and nurses in Britain. Then they're going off to other countries where they can earn better money. New Zealand, anywhere really, America, anywhere where people speak English and they know they'll get recognized better, you know, paid better money for being a doctor or for being a nurse, get actually recognized for what they do, not just clapped every Thursday night like, oh yes, nice clap, but then when it comes to actually paying them a decent wage, no. So they're voting with their feet. Who can blame them? You know, working in the health service is a difficult job because the great British public as well, they're nasty and abusive a lot of the time. You know, it's not all just, oh, you feel like you're really helping someone. Sometimes you're dealing with drunks, the things that you have to deal with. And I have 2 students who are doctors. And then, you know, as soon as they start protesting about anything, they're called lefties. And, they, you know, as if just wanting a decent wage or wanting to treat patients properly means you're a lefty, means you're some sort of communist. How dare you want to treat people properly? Drives me absolutely mad. So there you go. What's going to happen to my student? I don't know. Eventually, hopefully, she will get this operation. But she now knows she's got to face Christmas again in pain. And when she had her hopes up, hoping that she was finally going to get this operation. And how can a department not operate for 2 months because it's got no staff? So how are they going to resolve that? So they're going to get some staff in, then they'll be 2 months behind with everything. And the waiting lists just get longer and longer and longer. You know, you just better pray if you live in Britain, in Great Britain. God, about time they change that name. You should really hope and pray that you never get ill, especially if you need any specialized care or whatever. Now, I know lots of people get, it's a bit of a postcode lottery as well, of course, depends where you live. Some areas have better hospitals than others, better service, NHS service than others. Probably unfortunate this lady had to go to the north, because we all know that levelling up has never happened. So it was the place that she's got to go to is in the north. But, you know, I don't know. I just wanted to come on and have a little rant because, and I'm dedicating this video to my student, who obviously I'm not going to say who she is, but I just feel for her so much, because, you know, living in pain is hard. You know, there's a lot of people face pain every day. Their bravery that people face when they get up in the morning. And, you know, I'm the world's worst for sort of you get up and everything goes wrong sometimes. You know what? Some days you get up and everything just seems to go wrong. You get up, the dog's been sick, or, oh, I don't know, just silly little things, and it's, you know, and you moan to yourself. But you know what? Every morning when I get up, I thank God that I'm not in pain. I'm not in a war zone. I'm not having to go and undergo treatment for any terrible illness. You know, these are the things that matter. If I can just get up, and if I've got to clean up something the dog's done, the dog's mess, it's not the end of the world, is it? So there you go. I hope you have a lovely day. Remember to always live and love wisely, and try not to get ill. Unfortunately, what's going to be done about this? Oh, by the way, she was told that she could go privately if she liked. It would be £30,000 for this operation. So obviously, why? Well, one, why should she do that when her and her husband have paid into the system since they were 16 years old and they're now just 60? Two, who's got £30,000 just lying around that you can just pluck out of thin air? And three, it's the principle of it. She shouldn't have to pay for it. But see, this is how it's sort of going. So that's how it's going to be. It's going to be this two-tier thing. You know, people saying there are some things that you're going to have to pay for one day. Well, fair enough. But what if you can't pay for them? Do we want to end up like America? No offense, Americans. It's, you know, where you literally, your health has a price on it. Was supposed to be, wasn't it, from the cradle to the grave, or was that the social security system? You know, when the lefties came in and gave people all these things like the social security system, which was supposed to be just the safety net. I know it's gone wrong over the years and it needs looking at. The National Health Service, all these things that were created, and they've now, God, been decimated. Oh. Anyway, so I'll see you very soon in the next video. Sorry for ranting, but you know, sometimes I just have to get things off my chest. And I will see you very soon in the next video. And until then, may your God go with you. Bye.